So, lads, it appears that Bam Adebayo is going to be out for game number 2 of the 2020 NBA Finals. And is this majorly important? Of course it is. It's Bam Adebayo. He's arguably the most important. I'm not going to even say most important player to the culture because I believe that's Jimmy Butler. He is the most important player on the court for the Miami Heat every time he sets foot on the court. He was a big reason why they won the Eastern Conference Finals against Boston Celtics because Daniel Theis couldn't guard him. And he is also the main way that the Miami Heat can deal with an Anthony Davis. Whether that be using Bam as a weak side help defender in a double team if they have Dwight Howard on the floor, or whether it's Bam as a primary defender, but we've kind of learned Bam Adebayo can't really guard Anthony Davis as a primary defender. There isn't many people that can do that, and Bam is definitely, well, Bam unfortunately is not one of the, well, there's nobody that can do it. That's real, there's no one in the NBA that can do it. But in this video, there's no point in being all doom and gloom because I know for a fact that the Miami Heat aren't. And what I'm going to talk a little bit about is one, not necessarily, there's not going to be a positive. There is not going to be a positive from Bam Adebayo being out. Give the Miami Heat the option of having Bam or not having Bam. 10 times out of 10, they take Bam Adebayo. But at the end of the day, it is not the end of the world. Losing Goran Dragic and losing Bam Adebayo is huge. Losing the two of those guys, you've got basically two of your best players and, well, arguably your best offensive option and your best overall player that are out. I don't think the Miami Heat win the NBA Finals without Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo. I really don't. Well, not that I don't. There's 0% chance. If they're both out for the series, 0% chance Miami win. But one thing is that this game could be used a little bit like, if you guys remember a game back in 2013, the Miami Heat were seen as the best team in the NBA and it was not close. And there was a game that Greg Popovich decided to rest all of his main players. He rested Tony Parker, he rested Manu Ginobili, he rested Tim Duncan, and he may or may not have rested Kawhi Leonard. I'm not sure if Kawhi Leonard played that game. But what Greg Popovich did in that game was every theory he had, every kind of out there tactic he could have thrown against the Miami Heat and used, he used. He put Boris Diaw on LeBron James and figured out that Boris Diaw could actually do a great job on LeBron James at that stage because Boris Diaw could match him for strength, and a lot of the time Boris Diaw was kind of savvy enough to get into the right positions. I hope the Miami Heat can do something like this in this game because losing Bam is huge. It is absolutely huge. And I'm just hoping that the Miami Heat can try a bunch of new stuff and that some of it works. Is most of it going to work? Hell no. Are the Miami Heat going to win this game? Highly unlikely. But if the Miami Heat don't go into this game for broke, if they look at this game as a, let's just try a bunch of different things and see if we can figure out a way of stopping LA, and it works, So I don't think I give it probably 90% chance Lakers win. It's not an absolute guarantee, but you just never know. If the Miami Heat figure out something, which they could figure out some way, some sort of junk defense that the Lakers struggle with. Just like the Toronto Raptors last year just started throwing junk defenses. I think it was a game 2 against the Golden State Warriors. Found out that the triangle and 2 worked against them. I think this will be that type of a game for the Miami Heat. Throw a bunch of junk defenses at them, see what works, see what doesn't work, and just try a bunch of things you haven't used in the bubble. Please play Meyers Leonard, Spoelstra. Please play him. I just don't get it. He's better than Kelly Olynyk. He's better than Olynyk. And evidently, the Miami Heat can't really play without Bam Adebayo. But at the end of the day, like, they have Solomon Hill playing as their backup center. I'm sorry, but just play Meyers Leonard. He's at least got some sort of athleticism. He's big. He can hit a jump shot. Just play. Please give Meyers Leonard a chance. And also, he has been the #1 cheerleader in all of the bubbles, so please just give him a chance. He can play as well. That's the worst part about it. The worst part about it is that he's being, like, people joke about him being the #1 cheerleader in the bubble. It's true, but he can play. Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn is going to start this game. Kendrick Nunn is going to start the rest of the series. I wonder how well Kendrick Nunn is going to play. he's obviously not going to do what he did at the end of game 1. Because they kind of switched off. The Lakers had given up by the time Kendrick Nunn saw the floor. But if Kendrick Nunn can put up 20 points a game for the rest of this finals, if all three of Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, and Jimmy Butler can average 20 points a game the rest of this finals, you just never know what'll happen. It takes one good shooting game from Iggy, one good shooting game from a Kelly Olynyk or a Myers Leonard, and it's going to be a tight game. And a big thing is this guy right here. Tyler Hero is needed to just jack up shots. He is needed to just jack up shots. As a Heat fan, I do not care if Tyler Hero goes 0 for 20 from the field. I don't care. He do not have anyone else that can score. They have Dragic, who was their main threat going to the basket, who is their main distributor, their main playmaker. They have Kendrick Nunn, who's not quite, well, he's nowhere close to Dragic. You've got Bam, who, heck, Bam was playing point center. Tyler Hero, this is an opportunity for him to just go ham and shoot every single shot he wants, because it's not like he's taking shots from Goran. It's not like he's taking shots from Bam. He can just jack up shots. He's not taking shots from Jimmy either. Jimmy's not an offensive option. So anyway, that is pretty much it. The Miami Heat are going to be without 2 of their 3 best players for, fingers crossed, not the rest of the finals. I don't necessarily think that the Miami Heat are out yet. I do think it's highly unlikely. I would have said maybe given it 65-35 before the series started in favor of Los Angeles. I think right now it's probably like 90-10. If the Heat lose tonight as badly as they lost in game 1, without any signs of life or without any like good moments, it's gonna be take out your brooms, lads, especially if Bam Adebayo ends up being injured for the rest of this series. But the only way that he can really benefit from this is if they do what Popovich has done plenty of times for the Spurs. If they try a bunch of stuff and see what works. They might end up going into some random junk zone and it might be a disaster, which is fine. This is the time for the Miami Heat to take risks. When you're in a situation where you have a 95% chance of losing, especially in a best of 7 game series, there will be nothing held against Miami. There will be nobody questioning Erik Spoelstra. There will be nobody questioning any of the Miami Heat players if they lose this game. This is not like the Celtics when they lost to Miami Heat. This is not like Miami had they not... Heck, this is not like had even the Celtics been in the finals where people might have been questioning the players. They might have been questioning Brad Stevens. There is nothing to question for Miami. They're severely undermatched in terms of talent. They're there by their culture, and I think that is a very good situation to be in if you are an Erik Spoelstra, if you are a member of that team, that they can go for broke tonight, and even if they lose this game by 10-15 points, it can still set them up for potentially getting themselves back into this series. Heck, if they can pull off a win tonight by some miracle and Bam's back for game 3, the momentum suddenly is swung in their direction. So this finals is far from over. I think definitely the Lakers are at a massive advantage, but that's the thing when I'm looking at media. Everyone talking about how finals are over, it's over, give the Lakers championship already, get the brooms out already. And maybe it's because I'm a Heat fan, but I very rarely like to say a series is over unless it's like 3-0. If it's 3-0, it's over. You're not coming back. No one in history has come back. Even though I did actually predict a 3-0 to 4-3 or a 3-0 comeback in the bubble. I predicted there'd be at least one because weird things were going to happen. Didn't happen. And it's definitely not going to happen if the Lakers go 3-0 up. But yeah, so maybe I'm being a bit optimistic. But if you're Miami, you got to look at this as a glass half full situation. Rather than putting your head down and thinking we've lost Bam, we have no chance. You've got the Miami Heat have a system. They have a lot of players that are extremely disciplined. So Spoelstra's in a position where he can try out a bunch of new things. And if he does find out that something works, his players are disciplined enough to be able to implement it for the rest of the series. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. What does this injury mean for the Miami Heat? It means they're more than likely going to lose this game tonight. And going 2-0 down against LeBron James, they're more than likely going to lose the series. So yeah, regardless of what I said, it's still more than likely going to be a case of Lakers winning. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.